Morning. We're going to play a game called Roll and Add to Make One. It is a game that will help with fractions. It's also can be found in your math book, your second math book. So the directions for Roll and Add to Make One is that you'll need 2 dice and a partner to play this game. If you don't have a dice at home, you can cut the dice out that are at the end of your book. The first player will roll the dice and create a proper fraction. This means that the bigger number will be the denominator and go on bottom. The smaller number is the numerator on top. We're going to record that fraction in the first column and then decide what we need to make that fraction whole. And then record that fraction in the second column. Then your partner will roll the dice and it will be their turn to do the same thing. When we compare the fractions at the end of each round, we'll decide who has the larger fraction, and that person wins the point for the round. So to help with this, you really need to understand comparing fractions. We're going to use, of course, the greater than, less than, or equal. If there's a couple quick rules. If the fractions have the same numerators, for example, this fraction here with 3/4 and 3/6, if it has the same numerators, you just look at the denominator, and the smaller denominator will be the greater fraction. 3/4 is greater than 3/6. If it has the same denominator, same number on the bottom, the larger numerator is the greater fraction. For example, 3/5 is less than 4/5, because 4 is larger than 3, and it has the same denominator. There's a couple different strategies to work on or to use if you have different numerators and different denominators. One is to find find equivalent fractions or a common denominator. So for example, in this 3/5 and 2/4, 5 and 4 are not the same, but we can multiply 5 by 4 to get 20 and 4 by 5 to get 20, so that we have a common denominator. And then we multiply the top by the same thing. So 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. So therefore 12 20ths is greater than 10 20ths. So you're just comparing those outer two fractions when you have the same denominator, the same rule as we did up here. The one that we're going to use in this game is the butterfly method, where we cross multiply and find the greater fraction that way. So in this instance, when we compare 3/5 and 2/4 down here at the bottom right, we multiply 4 times 3 to get 12, 5 times 2 to get 10, and we can see that 12 is greater than 10. It's the same answer as here, because it's the same fraction, but as you see, we just arrived at it differently. So when I'm playing with my partner, the first time I rolled, I got a 5 and a 6. The 5 is smaller, so we put that in the numerator. To make 5 6 whole, we need to make 5. So these are what I rolled, 5 and 6. To make that a whole, I need 1 6. Then my partner rolled.
I got a 1 and a 5, and in order to make a whole, I need to add 4/5.
So now we're comparing my 1 6 to her 4/5. When I look at this, they do not have the same denominator or numerator, so I need to use one of these methods here. We chose a butterfly method, and we will cross multiply. So we multiplied 1 times 5 to get 5, and 6 times 4 to get 24, and obviously 24 is larger, so therefore player 2 gets the point. In the next round, you can see that player 2 gets the point. 1 6 is less than 4/5. In the next round, I rolled a 3 and a 6. To make 3 6 whole, I need another 3 6.
And then when I rolled, I got a 4 and a 4, and I don't have to add anything to that to get a whole,
because it's already one whole. So therefore 3 6 is greater than nothing. So player 1 gets the point. In the third round, I rolled a 2 and a 6. To make that a whole, I need 4 6.
And I rolled a 1 and a 5, and to get a whole, I need to add 4/5.
So now we're comparing 4 6 and 4/5. This one has the same numerator. So I'm going to look at my strategies for the same numerator up here. it says the smaller denominator is the greater fraction. So looking at this, 3/4 is greater than 3/6. So I'm thinking in my head, the smaller denominator is the greater fraction. So therefore, 4/6 has the greater denominator, so that's a smaller fraction. So 4/5 is greater. So player 2 gets the point. Let me re-clarify. The smaller denominator is greater. So 5 is smaller, so that therefore it's greater. In the fourth round, I rolled a 2 and a 3. And to make that a whole, I need a 1 and a 3, a 1/3.
And then I rolled a 1 and a 3, and to make that a whole, I need to add 2/3.
So now we're comparing a fraction that has common denominators. So we can look up here at our rule for common denominator. It says the larger numerator is a greater fraction. So if the bottom's the same, we just look at the top and make our determination. So 1/3 is less than 2/3. So player 2 gets the point. We decided to end our game there because after 4 rounds, player 2 has 3 points. So even if player 1 got the last round, they would not win. So player 2 wins. This game is a little bit more complicated. It makes you think a little bit and comparing all different types of fractions because you don't know what the dice is going to roll. So my suggestion is to look at this sheet, have it up when you play the game, and just review those rules. It'll be helpful as you continue with fractions. So thank you.